Hi guys, just want to do a short, quick, hopefully quick video on how to get started. Some people think, oh, keto, I don't know how to start. How am I going to do this? It's going to be good. So this is on my experience. I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So please check with your doctor first. If you have any health issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, I have high blood pressure, but it's come down thanks to me almost losing 40 kilos. So if you do have any health issues, please check with the doctor that keto is going to be okay for you. Keto is a good diet for a lot of people, but if you have stomach issues with dairy and things like that, keto might not be right for you. So please check with your doctor and then you're ready to start. All right. So step one, you're just going to go ahead and get an app. So I've got Carb Manager and I've always used Carb Manager, and that's been a really good app for me. It's a good app in the fact that I can go into the supermarket and scan something that I want, and it's going to tell me how many carbs, how much sugar, and how much fats and so on is in it. So that's fantastic, and it is an American, but it will scan most of the foods here, which is great because it goes on people putting in their foods. So if a new product comes into Countdown, somebody is going to put that into the Carb Manager app and it'll be there for all of us to use. So it's really great. It has recipes that are absolutely amazing. I've cooked many of their recipes. I have a YouTube channel that I cook recipes and I video it. So if anyone needs a little inspiration or a little help, check out Mel's Keto Journey on YouTube or ask for the link and I can send you the link. But yeah, so it is great to have a good app. Some people think that, oh, I'll get the app and then they'll do it for a couple of weeks and then they just stop putting in what they're eating. It is really important to track your macros. Like there is hidden sugars, hidden carbs and things like that you don't know in certain foods, and eventually you'll stop losing weight from my experience. So I was like that as well when I first started. It is a hassle to put everything in the app, what you're eating. But if you really want to lose weight, you're going to put in that effort and you are going to make that happen and track your food. The easiest way to do this is to track it the day before. So if you're going to go to work and you're going to be eating lunch and you're like, I've got to track this, and time is not always on your side, you've got half an hour lunch break, etc., you are not going to be able to put it in. And if you want to put it all in at the end of the day, you're not going to remember everything you had, or you're going to miss something such as a little bit of oil you use for cooking that, or a little bit of butter you use for cooking it. So take time out, even half an hour to 40 minutes at the end of the night, to prep for the next day and put in the next day. So Carb Manager is fantastic for that. All right, so first thing is get the app, play around with it for 3 days, and just put in certain foods and meal prep for 3 days worth. And once you're confident enough that you understand the app and you can use it and you're getting your macros right, go for it. We're going to use that app. All right, so the next step is clear out the pantry. So you want to clear out the pantry. I used a container and put all the stuff that is sugar, carbs in a container up on the top shelf and said non-keto. And eventually I've gotten rid of it because keto has become a lifestyle change for me and I love the diet, so I'm staying on the diet. So eventually I've got rid of it by giving it away or throwing it out. So you can do that if you're only going to do keto for 3 or 6 months, put it up the top. Or if you're just trialing this, put it up the top, but just make sure that it is not where you're going to grab it or want it. If there's biscuits, cakes, cookies, I suggest getting rid of those. There's no way that I can even not eat them if they're right there. All right, so your staples, you need your baking stuff. So your almond meal, your coconut flour, your baking powder, your vanilla essence, your cocoa, and things like that. Xanthan gum, which you can get at bin in. It helps thickens foods and stuff like that. So you'll learn that as you go. But it's a good idea to have that coconut flour and the almond meal there. There's 2 different types of almond meal in the supermarket. So there's the macro one, which is a brown sort of. I prefer the one down the baking aisle, which is white, and it just works well in my cooking and baking and so on. And it's a little bit cheaper. All right, so you will work those out as you go. And then you can have your sugar-free jellies, your chicken broth, tinned tomatoes. You can use tomatoes and things like that. Just check the back. Some cans have more sugar, more carbs, so you want the lowest you can find. And then you can use a very small amount as long as it fits into your daily count. So I will use 1/4 of a can and put the rest in a container in the fridge for the next meal and so on. So yeah, so you can still have make sure you have snacks. I have Atkins bar, Atkins crackers, pork crackling, and stuff like that. The Atkins crackers are fantastic. You can put on them cream cheese and ham and tomato, or eggs, mashed eggs. I mean, they're great for going to. Okay, so the next step is, remember, no lollies, no biscuits, no chocolates. Pantry is cleared out. Is your fridge. So in your fridge, you want to have great veggies. You have to get rid of your potatoes and your pumpkins and your kumara and things like that. You have to get rid of, unfortunately. But you do get used to having fantastic new green vegetables, which are great for you. So you can have your broccoli, and you can have your cabbage, and you can have your spring onions, better than onion, it's lower carbs, and you can have your tiny little bit of carrot. But again, that's carbs. Some people choose not to have it. Maybe in your first 2 weeks, you're not going to go for things like carrot and things with carbs. But there is plenty of spinach, silver beet. There's plenty of veggies you can have. So you also want to get your cheeses, your mozzarella cheese, your cheddar cheese. Yeah, so I'm a cheeseaholic, so I've got Parmesan and I've got everything. Cream cheese, sour cream, almond milk, because you can't have milk, and you may want to try that in your coffee, or you might want to try cream. Okay, so, and then your bacon and eggs, really important. Your block of butter, so no margarine and stuff. Try to keep away from a lot of processed foods. So your butter and Best Foods mayo, gotta have that Best Foods mayo, is great. Eventually, after the 2 weeks, and you've been strict for those 2 weeks, you can add things like 50% less sugar, tomato sauce, and things like that. That will fit into your plan. All right, so then your next step is keto meal prep. Now, I can't say how important this has been for me, and how I've learned that it's super important to prep and cook your meals. If you're going to be out, it's really hard to find something keto. You can't just have a pie, you can't just have a scone, you can't just have a cake. It's not easy to just buy something to eat. So make sure you prep. There is places out that you can have. You can have McDonald's lettuce wrap burger, you can have Peter Pitt chicken tenders, you can have Subway salads. So there is places that you can eat out. But for the first 2 weeks, it's really important that you try not to, because that's what works for me. So I'm sure, you know, those 2 weeks you don't want to be cheating at all. Your body is changing, your body is going into ketosis, and it's really important to meal prep. So do 3 days worth. So I've got some butter chicken, I've got shepherd's pie, I've got egg omelets, I've got egg cups for breakfast and stuff in the fridge that I can have for 3 days. You can freeze them. Whatever you want to do, you just need to make sure that you're meal prepping. And that's pretty much it, guys. So it's not hard to do. You're ready to go. You've cleared your pantry, you've cleared your fridge, you've filled them up with keto foods, and you're meal prepped for 3 days, and you're ready to go. So yeah, just when you meal prep, make sure you put it in your app too, so you won't even have to sit on your app every second and change and swap things around. So the meal prep is there. So just use a day to yourself to cook and meal prep. So yeah, you're ready to go. So make sure you do get an app that when you're in the supermarket and you're going to take a little bit longer shopping for this keto transformation, because you want to scan foods. You might be like, I wish I could have some of that. Well, you may be able to. Just scan it. Everything you can have on keto that's not sugar filled, in moderation, so small amounts. But for the first 2 weeks, make it basic. You don't have to have bacon and eggs every morning for breakfast. You can have Vogel cereal. You can have yogurt. There's the Greek's fresh and fruity yogurt, low carb, low sugar, and I just add the sugar-free jelly into it for flavoring, and it's just yummy if that's all you feel like eating, or just a boiled egg. So yeah, all right. Good luck, guys. If you have any problems whatsoever, check out my YouTube, check out my Instagram, and send me a message.